Oh, right. What is up, my beautiful people? Today we got Ellis Gange. We're doing rugby players. Little review here on men's
Who's Alex
health.
Gange?
I just decided, hey, it's on my front page. Rugby players be jacked. Let me see what they're on.
This is how I build my body.
How often are you doing pulling movements?
To be fair, we literally do go like that. Like the cadence would be squat, bench, and then pull on like the Monday, all the heavy lifts, and then on the Tuesday, as I said, that sort of not accessory day, but you do like eights and maybe do AEL, like the assisted eccentric lifts.
Yep. Talk me through an assisted eccentric.
Yeah, so essentially, I don't know if they've got any there, but there's like a metal pole. You don't have to use the pole, but we put like something you can clasp onto, and as I'm sort of pulling, I pull down on my own,
Yep.
and then you'd sort of hang on that weight bracket
And pull it down.
and pull me back
Yeah.
up, and I just resist as much as I can.
So you're making the lowering portion heavier than
Yeah,
the concentric.
I actually don't know why we do it.
Do you want me to say?
Yeah.
Because you're stronger through that eccentric portion. So you're always going to be stronger in the lowering portion. So if you think of something like a deadlift, if you took a deadlift out of a rack, you could lower a lot more weight.
Yeah.
Maybe deadlift's a bad example, but so by doing that over eccentric, you're stressing the muscle through that eccentric position more than you'd be able to, because your concentric's always going to be the limiting factor. So
Yeah.
think of your bench, same thing, like it's harder to push than it
Of
is
course,
to lower.
yeah.
So by adding that extra weight into the eccentric, you're overloading the eccentric
Oh, it's
portion.
definitely exhausting, I can tell you
Yeah,
that. for
and it's
free.
good for growth as well.
Yeah, it feels like that, to be fair. And when we do like big blocks, we always have like eccentric lifts in there.
Even though it's like really technical and it's really like over eccentric lifts, it's like quite a fun bro thing to do.
It
as well,
is funny
isn't it?
because
Yeah.
obviously the person who's pulling down gives you a load of grief
Yeah.
whilst you're trying to pull it back up. So it is a laugh.
I'll talk about those forced eccentrics there. Like he said, it's kind of a bro thing to do. You'll definitely get a little bit more growth out of that if you're just training a regular set versus a forced eccentric, just because you're getting a little bit closer to failure. You're able to really push that muscle on more of an even pace. Works especially well on something where it's a lot easier on the eccentric, where you kind of lose the tension on that portion there. My biggest critique there, though, would be it's kind of hard to track that, right? Because you don't know, one, how strong the person pulling is. You might have a different person each time. And two, you don't even know how much force they're really putting out, even if it's the same person. So some days you might do 200 pounds, some days you might do 250, just based on how much that other person was resisting you. So you don't know how much stronger you're actually getting.
With this
All
sort of
right,
grip.
these grips as well. It's like because all of our fingers are shot to pieces
Yeah.
from rugby. They actually work quite well because you can like slot your fingers
Yeah,
in like that,
yeah,
as
they're
opposed
so
to some of those
ergonomic.
other ones you can't even get your fingers
Yeah.
right in the bar.
What other grips would you use that, like you were saying, a little bit more rugby specific?
Yeah, so this one's just same as that, but we use this one more so than that wide one.
Yeah. Do you think a lot of these moves are?
Small thing here, talking about that grip. He could just put on some straps or some Versa grips. Personally, I use some Iron Mind grips, the figure eights that they have there. Really nice. I love the product. I think I've had it for like 4 or 5 years, so they're really durable too. But basically, he's saying his fingers, his forearms, fingers can't really hold as much weight as he can do, which is partly because of his sport, but also that's pretty par for the course for your back on most movements. If your lats are as strong as your forearms, you've got like really disproportionately strong forearms or really weak lats. So more than likely, if you don't have access to these mag grips, you'll be plenty fine, or maybe even better, throwing on some straps or some Versa grips.
Won't go down the wheel. No.
Give me a push down. Come on, let's go. No.
No.
To be clear, I faked not being able to do that to make Ellis feel. That's normally
fair,
one
that's
hand.
like double his
Do
body
you do
weight.
any other sort of pulling, any horizontal pulling, or is it mainly just pull down?
We do a bit of like neutral grip row. Yeah, like laying flat and pull from behind, but other than that, no, it's all horizontal and vertical, just like pretty stagnant lifts.
So back squats, how often a week are you squatting?
You know what, we don't actually squat as much as you probably think. We only squat about once a week. And then sometimes if we've got like a Sunday game, I'll try and get a session on the day off. But yeah, we'll go heavy once a week and then maybe do a bit of power like later on in the week on a Thursday or something.
What's heavy for you?
The 223 is my PB at the moment.
PB.
Well, yeah, it's not too much thinking I'm 120 kg, so I can't even do double my body weight. But
It's not too much.
we're building.
223 kilos, yeah.
But yeah, we usually start with about 60 on the bar and
Yeah.
then sort of build up. But obviously, what phase you're in training-wise depends on time of the year. So at the moment, because we're sort of tail end of the season, I'm just threes, twos, ones.
Yeah, just heavy weights.
Just heavy, like
Yeah.
sort of maintenance, trying to sort of. Well, ironically, I hit a PB last week, but yeah, we're not actually searching for PB.
Maintenance.
Yeah, just up, but it's one of them. Innit? You shouldn't be doing 6-8 reps now.
Yeah.
It's probably too late to build all that strength up. So yeah, you're just trying to sort of maintain it, I guess.
Let's get some sets done.
All right, let's break that down really quick. He's talking about some periodization there. So he has a little bit more of a linear progression. He blocks out his phases, or I'm sure he has a coach who does that for him. But the reason they're doing that, like he said, the 3-3-2-1, they're basically tapering down on their volume to be able to sustain for their higher volume and needed intensity, because they're towards the end of the season. They really want to push on their rugby rather than weightlifting. So if you're doing a set of 6 to 8, like 9, 10 RPE, you're not going to have the strength to really play as hard as you want to. So now they've already built up that strength, and they're just trying to kind of maintain that strength while they mainly focus on the technique of rugby, the sport itself. As he was saying, he just hit a PB, personal best, after this or during this maintenance phase. A lot of the times when you see that is because they're running themselves to red line when they're building up strength. They're at their absolute limits, so they don't have the recovery capabilities to actually hit a PB. Now he's a little bit tapered down. He's hitting a little bit less sets, less volume, so he can recover again. And that's when his strength gains that he's been making actually show here.
Do you go low bar, high bar?
Oh, I think they've ripped. How good.
Definitely have had some
Low bar,
advanced
high bar,
rugby
what, on the back?
before.
Yeah, pretty
A
high
lot of fun experience.
Yeah, I think so. Do you think this is high?
I'd say high
Yeah?
bar, yeah.
Yeah, they're
Low bar's like almost on your traps and it really folds you forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right down the back. Yeah, no, I don't do that.
I saw it was your 223 kilo post that you put up the other day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And someone called the depth police, didn't they? Tell me about that.
Oh, I don't know. It's one of them, innit? Like anything you put out, you're gonna get feedback on. I'm certainly not going as low as you are right now, but
Very true.
I'd like to think for a big old lump I get low enough. But it's good feedback. It's good feedback. Whether it's wanted or not is a different story, but...
Do you ever work with high reps in the squat?
When I was younger, I used to do German volume.
Those deep reps there definitely going to give you more hypertrophy, more strength, injury resilience, really lots of benefits there. He might be right in that he's pretty big, so it's hard to get that mobility. I would say, though, that he should be able to improve on it. He probably can squat lower. We'll have to see, but he probably can squat lower. He get all those things that I just said: explosiveness, injury resilience, power, strength, hypertrophy. So wouldn't be the worst thing.
It was so like popular at the time.
Yeah, 10 sets of 10 reps.
Yeah. And I'd superset that with lunges, but that was when I was at college and I was a little bit more into my training. Weirdly enough, as you get higher up, I don't know what you want to call it, the ladder of sport,
Yeah.
I'd say you actually probably invest less time into your weights and more time into
the game. Yeah.
Yeah, which makes sense, I guess. And when you're at college, you just want massive arms, massive legs. So
Massive body. What sort of weight were you doing 10 by 10 at?
What, when I was younger?
Yeah.
Probably under 120?
120
maybe.
for GBT.
I was stronger when I was 18 than what I am now. Genuinely.
Get down there.
I don't want any shorts to rip.
Keep going at it.
They're new.
Looks like he's maybe in his 30s
Do you ever do
now.
any other varieties of squats, or do you just stick to back
Again,
squats?
like in off season, I'll do front squat and stuff, but no, I stick to just back squat usually.
Who's the biggest squatter in the squad?
It'd be a toss up between me and Max Laheath. I'm sure you've probably come across a few times. He's a very strong boy.
I'm just looking at some comments on your. What squat was this?
I don't know, that was in the garage. I think that was on one of the days off.
What have you got?
Is
That's
that 180
180,
or 190?
Okay,
That's
so
180.
Yeah,
jump on that
180. No, let's say
180.
190.
Let's say 190.
I would
Cut
like
the
a
180.
Give or
side
take.
angle.
Let's have a look at the comments, shall we? Can you go below parallel? And you've replied to that actually. No. Huge Johnson blocks me squatting deep. Blessing and a curse. So anatomy lesson. Nice. Hashtag holiday half reps. Is that someone you know?
Yes. Belter.
Get them hips on strictly, so there's a lot of positive.
There's some positive feedback, is there?
You up for doing a depth test?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, how about you squat, and I'll set the bar low.
The parameter.
Set the parameter.
That'll give me some extra motivation. You ready? These shorts could go at any time.
Let's go. Hip crease below knee.
Yeah.
Down, down, down,
You
down,
say
down,
when.
down, down, down.
You happy with
Yep.
that?
And up. Easy reps.
So he
And the
can
shorts
get
passed.
super
They
low,
did, just
but
about. I think they've ripped
that
already.
didn't even look like
They can't go again.
the end of his range of motion there. If he really wanted to get a lot more out of it, he could narrow in his stance a little bit and flare out his feet as well. You're going to open up your hips, get a bunch of abductors there. He could get some weightlifting shoes or put a plate under his feet. Seeing as though he's using it for rugby force production, though, that might not be the best thing just for adaptability. But definitely, I would try and get a little bit lower at least. And depth is actually something you can progressive overload in itself. If you can't get to full depth even with a light weight on the bar, like something you can do for 15, 20 reps, your flexibility isn't there yet. Do what you can on that light weight and slowly progress higher and higher until you start doing a little bit higher weight. Say you're doing 20 pounds, now you're doing 30 pounds. Then you can actually go back to that 20 pounds and you'll probably be able to get an even deeper stretch, feel that muscle a little bit more, then go back up to that 30, go back down to 20, stretch a little bit further, progressive overload that way as well.
Bench press. We've done squats first, but where do you rate bench? If you had to lose one squat or bench, what would it be?
For after rugby or now?
Right now.
I'd lose bench.
You'd lose bench.
Yeah.
What about after?
Just because squat's probably more important
Yeah.
for my position. But after, no, you keep bench all day, won't you?
Yeah, for sure.
You put squats to one side, skip leg day.
How important is bench? Like, it's obviously quite it's a classic bro. Only really curls are more broy than bench. But how much carryover does it have to your rugby?
I think the one about bench actually makes you quite robust, and that's what I like about it. Obviously, when you put bigger weights on as well, when it sort of comes off your chest. We had DEXA scans done, which was quite interesting, showing bone density, and all the front rowers who lifted over the tin, their chests were like so dense, and I can only put it down to chucking the weights.
Callous-
literally,
ribs.
like you got callous rib cage. So, no, I think it's massively important, especially playing in the front row, to have a big bench and a big squat.
I've never heard that before. Like, is that you like actually the dexterity of feeling the
No, I
heavy
enjoy
bar
it. Yeah, I
hit
enjoy
your-
it as an art.
Nice.
It's an art form.
Nice. Well, let's hop on then. Let's get
Should we bang some weight on?
sets in. Yeah.
Yeah.
How often are you benching?
Probably 2 or 3 times a week, but again, like different variations. So obviously you got like flat bench. We got roller press. You've done a roller press?
Like a
30 degree with
press.
with like a big sort of barrel on the middle.
Yeah.
We do that quite a lot, but that's always high rep stuff. It's weird with bench. You like do so many reps throughout the year, and you never feel like you're done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You can never bench too much.
No.
No.
2 plates already on each side. Yeah, 225, somewhere around there.
So
Definitely
you
strong
have
fellow.
quite a close.
Yeah, I got a tight grip. I've been told that a few times, but I don't know. I feel like when you go wider and like people sort of arch their back and
Yeah.
bring their hammies up and stuff, I feel like you don't get as much out the lift.
That's like powerlifting. Just
Yeah.
move as much weight as
Yeah.
possible. Whereas you're literally saying you're actively trying to let the bar
Exactly.
assault
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Quite literally.
Yeah. So powerlifting would kind of be right out here.
Yeah.
Big
Leotard
arch.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy. Dual bench together.
So, one point there, I don't think you're getting less on the motion. Depending on your arch, you definitely can arch excessively. That you definitely see that in Olympics and powerlifting leagues. But for the most part, if you're just benching with a little bit more of an arch and you're retracting your scapula and your shoulder blades, you're actually going to be a lot safer in the shoulders. Widening out there, you can actually keep your elbows a little bit wider, get a huge stretch in the chest. It's actually pre-stretching it as well when you hit an arch there. So really great, in my opinion, for your chest focused if you want to do a wide bench with a little bit more of an arch. That close grip is going to give you a little bit more of a tricep, more of an all-around approach if you're trying to save time or if you're trying to bias your triceps. I will take one day out of the week if I'm focusing arms and just do close grip first and then all of my tricep movements before my chest.
As well.
Yeah. Well, like usually, so you got like a trainer, S&C,
Yeah.
strength and conditioning coach, and they'll just sort of have your program. And you'll more or less all do the same lifts, but just different weights. So you're just slamming different weights on for each person.
I bet that's a good vibe.
Yeah, I mean, as long as the tunes are right, it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter, does it?
What are your go-to bench tunes?
I'm not in charge of music, and they usually just put on the iPad and click shuffle. There's a lot of country,
A lot of country.
which is quite popular at the moment.
If you were gunning for a PB, what would you put on in the garage?
Probably Gets artillery,
Gets nice.
something a bit nasty.
Nice. And you're really accelerating that bar as well.
Yeah, to be fair, we did power this morning, so
Yeah. How many reps are you hitting this morning?
only threes, but it's done on velocity per how far the bar travels. So
Speed of the bar.
yeah, as opposed to peak. I don't know if it's peak actually. Anyway, you get a number at the end of
Yeah,
it, and
yeah.
I won.
And though you said you bench 3 times in a week, is that like West Side?
Small little thing there. If you're trying to increase your power, one of the biggest things is just your mindset. Even when it's a weight that's technically sub-maxable, say you're doing 50 to 60% of your 1 rep max, you're changing the muscle fiber recruitments. If you start thinking, lift this as fast as I can, or like a car's on top of my family, I have to get this up now, it's going to be a lot different than if you just were to lift the weight with no prior headspace involved and you're just kind of lifting. You're going to get a lot more fast twitch muscle fibers, which will actually increase your velocity and power production.
Sorry, you're doing.
Yeah, I don't know. So like
power.
first session would be again on a Monday. I get all my heavy lifting on the Monday, so I squat and then bench. Exactly, yeah, because it's a bit of a down day in terms of running on field. So I do my squat, my bench, then relax a little bit. I don't have to run around. Whereas on like a Tuesday, for example, the day after, it's a very attritional day out there. So you'd want to do like sort of higher reps, less weight.
Yeah,
So you'd probably go onto the chest press machine and
yeah.
muck about on there as opposed to do like big manual lifts.
Just grab a pump.
Exactly, yeah, quite literally. Good work. How'd that feel?
It felt right actually. I wasn't expecting. I thought I was going to get.
You were a bit nervous?
Yeah, I was. I won't go up on that. When you're off season or you're sort of off program, do you do any like fun, just bodybuilding type stuff, or do you generally stick to just big compound moves?
No, we do obviously like a lot of neck and stuff for scrums. Like when we come back, you want to be used to lifting weight, but in terms of arms and shoulders and all that sort of stuff, we get so much crossover from the rugby, you don't really need to.
Yeah.
So like, because I bench quite close grip, I get a pump from that anyway with my tries.
So you kind of, you don't train your arms, but you make sure you're always training your arms.
Yeah, passive aggressive arm sessions.
How close is your PB bench to your PB squat?
Within 40 kilo, which is quite worrying. But to be fair, I hit the 180 when I injured my lower body, so
You were bench
I was
specialising.
benching every single day. Didn't have to worry about my lowers, that's all.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a bit higher now.
The watt bike again. I really like
Finish
cardio.
with a bit of cardio.
Yeah. I was warned that you were like super methodical. How big a part does conditioning play versus weights?
I think it's one of those things that no one really wants to do it, but you understand what you get out of it and how important an integral role it plays, especially in rugby. You know, like we always do watt bikes because rugby is not about like the long effort; it's about the repeat effort. So you come from a scrum or a line out or a maul, and then you got to run. So we actually like fill our legs up. Where you would have seen it firsthand when you came in and trained us. We'd fill our legs up and then try and do some cardio and run around like penguins. But
We'd be good at high rocks.
no, I don't think I was. But yeah, we sort of try to like write ourselves off and then
lay
train.
down.
So it's method to the madness, I guess.
So what sort of protocols do you do on the bike?
Well, it depends really. Like if you're doing like a mental fitness session, you probably
Small thing there. He's talking about doing the bike after they work out. I'm actually a huge fan of this. If you want to increase your cardio even more, 2 different things you can do. 1, cardio after you work out, of course, so that you're still getting your hypertrophy benefits over your cardio benefits there. 2, if you actually do your cardio right before your technique, so let's say you're a rugby player, if you do a crazy amount of cardio before you do your rugby scrims or your practice technique work, whatever you're doing for the day, you'll actually tire yourself out with the HIIT cardio and then go into the technique work. So you're gonna, like he said, feel you're going to be able to push a little bit harder when it comes to the actual game day because you're kind of used to walking around with lead in your legs. Secondly to that, if you do the assault bike on, say, something like a 1-3, maybe even like 1-4, 1-5 ratio, so like 10 seconds on, 30 seconds off, doing something like that right before your technique work, you're really working that recovery. Like he said, you're not really ever in a sport doing like a very sustained effort unless you're maybe like a cross-country runner. It's normally continuous bouts of fast-paced effort followed by just a little bit of recovery. You might have 2-3 seconds to recover while everybody's scrambling, and then you're right back on it. If you're wrestling, you might have 5 seconds holding the guy in position while he's gathering himself, works on his escape, and then you're right back to it. So doing something like a 3-1 or a 1-3 actually is really good for things like that, where you're trying to really work that 0 to 60, that creatine phosphate system, rather than working on that sustained ATP aerobic system.
We do like 6 1Ks, 3 sets.
So 6 1-kilometer intervals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, have a look on there, see what they got on workouts.
So you literally just come in and do like
Yeah,
a
so
workouts.
there's that one there, which is 6 seconds on, 24 off. Have you ever done that one?
So pure power.
Yeah, and then 10 on, 30 off.
Yeah, again.
There's a custom one, 50-second interval. You got to get 1K, which I think will be some sort of world record.
Yeah.
60 on, 20 off. Yeah.
And you're going for like peak power here.
Yeah, they're max efforts.
Yeah.
They're all max efforts. And then you'd have like a whiteboard and they'd write all your wattages up.
Yeah,
and
yeah. Who here?
I would be a big fan of that actually max effort on the assault bike. A lot of people you see kind of skimp on it, which, I mean, I can't blame them. It's a really hard thing, but the harder you push yourself in training, harder you're going to play your sport. Secondly, when you're doing something like that, in order to actually get your heart rate to the maximum level and increase your VO2 max, which is what they're going for, right? Increasing their recovery and their VO2 max from a maximal effort. So to stimulate that maximal effort, you have to get to that point. And I pretend like somebody's chasing me with a knife, like I'm pedaling as fast as I can the whole time. And when you do that for actually a minute, you'll notice if you don't have time to do these 5 sets, 10 sets, whatever, like he's doing, if you do 1 minute straight, 60 seconds, you'll notice right about the 40-45 second mark, you actually get like an afterburner effect because of that creatine phosphate system that I was talking about before, and you'll get a crazy spike to your heart rate, and you'll get a lot of those VO2 max and oxygen recovery benefits that I was talking about without too much time enhancement or time investment.
Or whatever. Who's the biggest cardio dodger?
Cardio dodger, Lovejoy Shawatama.
Yeah,
I'd
straight
sign
away.
up for it, yeah. I don't have to think about that twice. He hates it.
How do they get out of it?
Pretending that he's injured. Or ill. No, he's all right, Lovejoy. And to be fair, because he's been injured so much this season, he's been relentless on the fitness. It's one of them things in rugby, if you get injured, they'll find a way to make you do cardio.
Yeah.
Whether you're on the Spark, the assault bike, or the what bike, you're doing cardio.
What's your your least favourite element of all of it? What's the bit they get you doing that you don't want to do?
Apart from all of it, probably the assault bike. I think it's the biggest finisher of a body that I can think of.
We were talking about earlier, weren't we? It's like the one piece of kit that will let you write a check that like your body can't cash. Like you let you get up there.
Yeah.
And then when you get off,
it's like nigh on impossible to maintain, isn't it? We did that Matt Fraser one the other day. It was like 10 cows or 20 cows, and then a rolling clock of a minute, and it was hanging.
Yeah, you said 20 cows
20,
every minute.
20 cows every minute on the minute, six reps. Yeah. Only one set, but it was like 8 minutes of work in total, I think, with the warm up, and then.
How much rest were you getting towards the end?
I think I would finish my last set in like 37 seconds, which is quite high, I think. The first one was like 19, and then you just fall off the face of the earth.
Yeah, you don't want to do a 10 cow test now, then?
No.
No, me neither. So.
Yeah. All right, that looks like they're finishing up there, so that'll be the end of the video for me. If you want to watch that full uncut video, it's on Men's Health from the UK. I actually did enjoy this video. Men's Health, they have a record for not being the best, in my opinion, but I actually really like this green shirt gentleman. He seemed pretty intelligent, knew a little bit of what he was talking about. This fellow from the rugby team was quite swell as well. So if you guys want to watch them, give that a shout. If not, I'll have another video for you guys tomorrow. Peace.